Hi, this is Shadi, and today we're gonna be taking on a great rivalry, arguably one of the best, and that is the Helio Gracie versus Masahiko Kimura match in 1953 in October in the Maracana Stadium. One of the greatest matches of all time when it comes to grappling. There is a bit of footage. I'm gonna go dive deep into it and show the little subtleties and a little bit of judo concepts that people might have missed due to the quality of the footage. But before that, I just want to say that last night I was on the Jits Guy podcast. His name is Zaid, great host. We had a great time. It was a 2-hour long conversation. We talked about history, the Gracie family, Mitsuyo Maeda, Japan. I urge you all to go and watch it. The Jits Guy podcast. I was the guest, last night, and it was a great conversation. We talk about the history that I discuss on this channel, and overall just a great conversation. And if you are interested in learning a few historical facts, this one is for you. So without any further ado, let's begin with the match. So it starts in a standing kumikata, just regular match, Helio versus Kimura. So here you can see the traditional kumikata, both facing each other, trying to read each other, and then out of the blue Kimura crosses his leg and goes down. Let's see it again. I know its Tokuwaza was also Togari and he would drill it against the tree, but for the sake of technicality, that was technically an Ashiguruma. You see, he crossed his leg, he didn't step outside and reap away and making Helio fall behind. He made Helio fall particularly to his side, which makes it technically an Ashiguruma or a leg wheel, because he crossed his foot and made him go down to his side with his sheer brute strength and also a superior technique. In, of course, here this is an Osotogari. You see, you step outside and then you reap away. Kimura did not step outside. He crossed his leg and immediately reaped away with an Ashiguruma. Let's see it again. You step outside, you do a Kuzushi, and then you reap away. Let's see it again here. He crosses his leg, Helio falls to his side. Technically it's an Ashiguruma. Here he goes in, passes guard almost easily. It's not even a smash pass or a knee cut, just passes instantly. But to give credit where credit is due, Helio, after an Ashiguruma, it's almost impossible to recover guard, but he recovered it for a split second. Here he is doing a neck crank, like a Kezagatame Kubi Hishigi almost. Helio lifts up his legs, goes into side control. Let's see it. He cranks his neck with a Kezagatame neck crank. Helio, as you see here, he's lifting his head up. This is one of the most basic escapes he was trying to do. He wasn't just kicking his head. So here you see the neck crank visible in the Kaweshi book, and what Helio Gracie was actually doing here, he was actually lifting his leg up. If you're a judoka, of course you know this escape, but due to the fact that Kezagatame is rarely used in jiu-jitsu, this is what Helio Gracie was trying to do. He was actually lifting his leg up with the space that Kimura was giving him between the two heads in order to insert his leg and take him down, reverse him, and then maybe he could get on top. But Kimura took the momentum and switched straight into side control. So as you can see here, he would lift his leg up and then kick down, getting him on top for the top position. This is what Helio initially tried to do, but Kimura just immediately takes the momentum and then goes straight into side control. Let's see it again from another angle. Here you can see he bounces, uses like a momentum and goes to the top. This was what he was trying to do. Here you can see he's in side control. Helio is trying to roll away, but Kimura is following him. So he was basically giving Helio the lead, but he was in control all the time, rolling with him, following him around. He wasn't squeezing him too hard. He was following him around, but maintaining control all the time. This is what we call in judo, and here he locks the udegarami and it's lights out. Here, this is what we call in judo the around the world concept. You don't squeeze too hard, you let them take the lead, but you move around and pin them however they are moving, and you follow them basically, but you maintain top control and top position all the time. Yusuke Kanemaru made this concept very famous recently. Akimoto taught it in the seminar which I attended. It's a great concept. You can see that you don't use a lot of squeezing and just top pressure. You just do enough subtle pressure that whatever movement they are giving you, you follow them around and you keep and maintain osaikomi. And remember, in judo, the time is not your friend. Time is running out. You are switching from pin to pin, but it is still technically osaikomi, not toketa. So as they are shrimping and doing all these escapes, they are losing time at the same time. And this is what Kimura was doing. He was following him around. There was no pin, I understand that, but he was mentally and physically exhausting him until he settled that ude garami and eventually finished it off, and the Gracie threw in the towel. But this is the concept of around the world basically. He let him go around and he was following him, but he was in control all the time. Here, another thing that he tried to do, I'm talking about Kimura, while switching position to position, he went for a triangle choke. Here you can see the Yoko Sankaku Jime. It's still used in judo till this day. Here you see you do it from the top, you flip them and then lock a triangle. Very different from the guard or from the mount. It's still used till this day. Particularly Daria Bilodid is has very long and skinny legs, which made it very effective for her. Here you can see he was about to choke him out with a Yoko Sankaku Jime from the top, because he was in north-south, I believe, and then he tried to lock it. So, and another thing that he was trying to do was immobilize the other arm that was free with the skirt. It's another thing that we do in judo as well. I don't know about jiu-jitsu. So here you take it down, you have the other arm in the triangle, the other you take it down and wrap it around with their own skirt to basically immobilize them, and then you continue squeezing in order for them to tap out. But Helio slipped out apparently. So this is basically it. You have the three things that were happening. You have the around the world concept, switching around, going from position to position, giving Helio the lead, but rather Kimura was the one in control. Also, you have the neck crank. So I would imagine Helio was in a ton of pain. Regardless, he was still trying to escape with the basic Keza Katame escape. And there's also the Yoko Sankaku Jime that he tried to employ, but apparently Helio slipped out until they kept rolling, and Kimura secured the ude garami for the win. So there is a lot of subtleties in this little footage that we have. You can see just Helio flailing his legs up, etc. But he was actually trying to do a lot of things. I would imagine he was in a lot of pain, especially that neck crank. Here you can see the triangle being locked, and here he's trying to secure the arm with the skirt. So it is a great match indeed. I wish we had the entire footage. I don't know where you can find it, but there's another thing that I want to discuss with you about. Last night I was on the podcast and Zed, the host, said that why not have these old style Vale Tudo matches. You have sambo versus wrestling versus judo versus jiu-jitsu, and I proposed this idea and he was very much interested, and I call it the Kimura Gracie Cup. So every year on October 23rd, which is the anniversary of this match, you have one judo team versus a BJJ team, and you just think of the matches, and the probabilities would be just endless. For example, Teddy Rene versus Cyborg or Marcus Bushesha. You have Becca Gviniashvili versus Keenan Cornelius or Craig Jones. Something like this will make Kron Gracie wear his gi again and come out of retirement. So just imagine, for example, Kron Gracie versus Shohei Ono in the 70s category. It will be just amazing, and also, in my opinion, it will take the gi sport to a whole new level. The newaza we have in judo, it will be far more crafted. You have women like Tonaki, Amada, and Kondo, which with impeccable newaza. also Mungbat, and also you have Kayla Harrison, very good in Newaza, Travis Stevens. Just imagine a concept like this for gi grappling will take it to a whole new level. I don't know who, I'm reaching out to all of you and asking you, who can I propose this kind of concept to? There's the body of the IBJJF, there's also the Japanese. I don't know how to start with a project like this. It would be amazing if something like this happens. We would wait for it basically like we wait for the World Cup or the Champions League or something very similar. Can you just imagine the setups, the matches we will have, the figures, Kayla Harrison versus like a BJJ black belt, like I said, Kron Gracie versus Shohei Ono, or Soichi Hashimoto versus Lachlan Giles, baby. The possibilities are endless, and it would just make this very interesting. Or for example, you have Andrei Galvao versus Peter Palchik. You know, just it's endless and it's just so entertaining. The BJJ will have to work on their wrestling a lot, and you have the Japanese will work, or the judokas will work on their newaza even more, especially the top game and the guard passing. So if you have anything else to add, particularly the match and the breakdown, or the Kimura Gracie Cup, let me know down below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.